Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for your patience. The ceremony will begin in approximately 20 minutes. Before we begin, we'd like to remind everyone that this is a celebratory event for the class of 2029, welcoming them into the Columbia community alongside families and loved ones. By participating today, you are agreeing to the standards and discipline of the University Rules of Conduct. The interruption of speakers and audience disruptions are not permitted. Those found in violation will be asked to stop and may be asked to leave the venue. While Columbia University encourages and recognizes freedom of expression, our rules of conduct state that the university retains the right to reasonably regulate the time, place, and manner of certain forms of public expression. This is especially the case in settings like this one. Thank you, and enjoy Convocation. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your patience. Our program will begin shortly. We're just giving the attendees a chance to get to their seats. Ladies and gentlemen, the procession will begin in a few minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our 2025 New Student Orientation Program leaders. Please welcome our esteemed Columbia University alumni. Please stand to welcome our Columbia University faculty, staff, and participants in today's Convocation ceremony.
Welcome, and please be seated. Students, families, colleagues, welcome. My name is Ian Rottenberg, and I serve as Dean of Religious Life for Columbia University. It is a true joy. Thanks. It is a true joy to be first among the chorus of voices gathered here to welcome you to Columbia for this time of Convocation. And we pause for a moment of gratitude and reflection and inspiration, invocation, that will carry us all on the next steps of our journey together. We gather in gratitude for the talents, work, and care that have led this incoming class to this day. For the great accomplishments and character represented in this space, for the love and dedication of the families that have nurtured and guided the students to this moment. Gratitude for the gifts and wisdom of faculty and staff who will be the caretakers of your education during this academic year. And gratitude for the mission of this great institution called to inquire, to learn, and to care for our world. We gather to reflect on what this moment means here at the intersection of what has been and what will now be. This marks a turning point for your individual lives, but also for Columbia. Where we go from here will be guided by the gifts you bring and the way you use those gifts in the days to come. Today, you become a part of the fabric of this place. You belong here, you are wholeheartedly welcomed here, and we cannot wait to experience the newness of what is to come, drawn from who you are as individuals and who you are now as a class. May the start of your time with us here be good and blessed in every way, filled with a sense of true belonging and supported by genuine community. Welcome to this convocation. Welcome to Columbia. And now, please join me in welcoming Jessica Marinaccio, Dean of Undergraduate Admissions and Financial Aid, to the podium.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Dean Rottenberg, and for speaking as someone who has read all of your applications. Students here, you absolutely do belong here. So, As mentioned and you have heard, my name is Jessica Marinaccio, and as your Dean of Undergraduate Admissions and Financial Aid, and as the person who signed all of the admissions letters that you worked so very, very hard to earn, I want to officially echo the welcome to you to the Columbia community. You're finally here. Joining me on stage today are the leaders of the university and the schools you are joining, as well as a number of the many deans who will support and interact with you while you are here. Also on stage are representatives of your new extended Columbia family, our alumni and current student bodies. And in the audience, as mentioned, we have esteemed faculty, more dedicated staff, and I think as you have heard, a large cohort of committed and enthusiastic student volunteers. all gathered here for the purpose of welcoming you on this special day for our entire university community. Special because Convocation is the ceremony when aspiring Columbians finally become truly Columbians. Welcome, class of 2029. Today, your first official day at Columbia is the culmination of years of effort, accomplishment, and dedication. A day when it may seem that your hopes and dreams have been fulfilled. But in fact, this is a day when hopes and dreams just begin to take shape, because education is about inquiry and challenge and promise and change, leading to new hopes and even bigger dreams that you may not yet, even now, know exist. This evening, you stand on the cusp of an experience that will change your life. Consider the loved ones beside you and those wishing you well from afar. What they all share is the desire to support this incredible journey that you embark upon today. And of course, yes. And of course, friends and family, this is a big day for you too. A challenging one, maybe, but one which I hope you will embrace with great joy. And so we proudly welcome you too into the Columbia family. Class of 2029. Class of 2029, you sit before me because in all of the tapestry, you sit before me because in all the tapestry of who you are Columbia. Your Columbia story begins today, and as someone who knew you a little bit at the beginning, I will watch how that story unfolds with great anticipation and admiration. Welcome again. Thank you for choosing to join us. I now have the pleasure to invite Shanasia Jonty to the podium. A member? Oh, we have to hear about her. A member? A member of the Columbia College class of 2027, majoring in creative writing with a special concentration in human rights. She joins us tonight representing this year's, okay, I'm getting ready, new student orientation program. As the student leader. Please join me in welcoming her to the podium. Thank you. Period.
I love you guys. Hi, besties, new besties. Okay, I'm gonna walk in now. Thank you, Dean Marinaccio, for the warm introduction. And to the Columbia University class of 2029, welcome and congratulations. This is a big deal. If no one has told you yet, I am so, so proud of you. Convocation, this moment, functions as a pause. It's a ceremonial page turn, one that invites you to reflect, imagine, and begin again. This is the prologue to your story at Columbia. But before you start your next chapter, please join me in celebrating all of the student engagement staff, crew captains, orientation leaders, committee members, and resident advisors who have given up a portion of their summer to properly welcome you to your new home. This year's theme, as you've seen on all of our shirts and your name badges, is Next Page. And yes, it's about looking forward, but it's also about honoring the pages that came before, the ones that carried you here. I know what it's like to carry a heavy page into this school. During my own convocation, I sat somewhere over there with the other students whose parents couldn't accompany them to Columbia, and I tried not to tear up. To be honest, I'll tune most of it out. You see, my first time ever leaving South Florida was to move into Wallach Hall. It's a very nice dorm. It eats. I drafted my personal statement in an abusive household, where we weren't even allowed to go grocery shopping, just school, the library, and the doctor's office. Columbia blue wasn't just a t-shirt shade for me. It was the color of a sky I didn't even know I could touch. So at Convocation, I wasn't scared or confused. My chapter of hardship had closed. I made it out. And that was the only story I cared about. Love you more. Period. But Columbia will undo that certainty. You'll find that your story doesn't exist in isolation. It's dependent on every other story in this room. This year is about vulnerability, creativity, and connection. And none of those are possible if you're trying to carry the whole narrative alone. Once upon a time, you wrote a personal statement. You told Columbia who you were and why, or you tried to. Many of us had to write our why before we could live it. We submitted versions of ourselves we hadn't met yet, and then arrived here, hoping they'd greet us like old friends. But sometimes they don't. That's when it begins. the why crisis. It happens in Lit Hum class, where your classmates sound like they swallowed a thesaurus, or in Gmail. Lit Hum, period. Or in Gmail, staring at your first internship rejection. Or sitting in the dining hall alone, while everyone else is laughing and laughing like they've never once thought about loneliness. When the why crisis occurs, we start to feel the distance between the us who got in and the us who's trying to stay in. For me, it was becoming financially responsible for my mother and brother shortly after my NSOP week. I thought I'd mastered adversity. I thought I was immune to plot twists. However, survival was a ritual I kept failing until it worked, and it did. But this is the part no one tells you. Your why crisis doesn't just happen once upon a time. It happens over and over again. Recently, my father was detained by ICE. There's a pressure you feel when your perceived story is the success story, when people expect you to be proof that a happily ever after exists. My story became a stack of blank papers. I learned that this wasn't a typo in my story, though. This is the story. To live with intention means occasionally misplacing it. That's why next page is such a powerful idea. Not because it means starting over, but because it means continuing, awkwardly, vulnerably, sometimes mid-sentence. Many of us are arriving here that way. We're learning to be scholars while messing up, to be 18 while carrying stories that started long before we did. But now, you get something rare. You get to ask that question for the first time with people who are asking to let now you and future you hold hands for a second. You don't owe this school perfection, but you do owe each other witness, because sometimes the we helps you understand the why. And if you can't, that's okay. This isn't your Common App essay. This is the part that comes after, the good part. Class of 2029, you've officially reached the good part of your story. As official Columbia students, you must be wary of the danger of a single story, or any attempt to summarize you or the Columbia experience. In the past few years, this community has experienced harm and joy, fear and hope, but we get more than one story. We are a library of selves, where each student is making their own Columbia history. We all come in trying to be legends, but we forget that legends are just stories that took control of their edits. My advice to you is, don't allow anyone to be your narrator, ever. Your community at Columbia will teach you, as it taught me, that every chapter is co-written, and yet every page is yours. So, welcome to Columbia. This isn't the end of your good parts, your stories, or your whys. Next page means you might be becoming someone you never imagined you could be. I hope you learn to love them anyway. Thank you.
Thank you, Shneza, for sharing your story with us and reminding everyone here tonight what Columbia represents at its very best. And I think we should give her another round of applause. It is now my honor to introduce a member of the Columbia College class of 1986 and the acting president of Columbia University. Please join me in welcoming Claire Shipman to the podium.
Good evening, and thank you, everybody. And Sneha, you should be our spokeswoman. She's incredible. I want to welcome the newest Columbians, the Columbia College and Columbia Engineering class of 2029. Welcome. And I also want to say, I've been to a few other convocations at other schools. I won't name them, but these orientation leaders are like nothing I've ever seen. Thank you. I'd also like to start with a moment of gratitude and thanks to the families and the loved ones who are here with us. We all know that these fantastic young people would not be here without your guidance and support, your pushing and your prodding, your worrying and your celebrating, and your love. So thank you. I also want the parents and the incoming students to know that an equally remarkable, exceptional staff, administrators, faculty, a group here on stage and in the audience are truly the gold standard in higher education. You are so lucky. I'll name just a few here that you'll be meeting, but our brilliant astroparticle physicist and provost, Angela Olinto, a literary scholar and executive vice president for arts and sciences, Amy Hungerford, professor of religion and Columbia College Dean Josef Sorett, okay, I think I'm ready for this cheer, Shih-Fu Chang, who is not just the Dean of Engineering, but an expert in multimedia, computer vision, and AI. And of course, Jessica Marinaccio, our exceptional Dean of Undergraduate Admissions, and who is indeed responsible for this group. So thank you, and it's an extraordinary team. I am reminded today of what it was like a few years ago to send my own kids off to college. Indeed, my back is still somewhat sore from moving my daughter, who's a rising junior at another institution, into her campus again yesterday. I know. There is such enormous pride in getting them to this point. There's fear, of course, that they might not check in or that there's something over the last few decades you've forgotten to convey to them. But mainly there's that vicarious sense of excitement about everything to come, all that lies in wait for them here, the opportunities, the friendships, and the revelations. I arrived here as a transfer student in 1983 from the Midwest. I was on financial aid, and I was full of nerves and elation. I was able to uncover myself here and realize and answer my relentless curiosity. I loved the depth of excellence that allowed me to start as a pre-med student, work in a DNA lab uptown, and eventually major in Russian studies instead. It is all possible here, and it's backed up in spades by this city. I will never forget the Metropolitan Museum being part of my art humanities class, and that's just one small example of what awaits. Minds more literary than mine have attempted to put into words the special essence that is Columbia. One of our deans recently said, it's the fact that we are always part of the fabric of something bigger. And novelist, Pulitzer Prize winner, and alumnus Herman Wouk called his time here a doubled magic. He said the best things of the moment were outside of the rectangle of Columbia. The best things of all human history and thought were inside. If only you had the sense you could spend 4 years in an unforgettably exciting and improving alternation between two realms of magic. That doubled magic, he wrote, is lasting me a lifetime. Well, I will say that outside the rectangle of Columbia, you have nothing less than the city of New York, the greatest city on the planet. Here, the opportunities for growth and discovery are limitless. You will be exposed to different cultures, different ways of being in the world that will change you for the better if you let them. And you will encounter some of the best and most interesting people you have ever met. New Yorkers, as most of you know, don't seem to have a lot of time, but they will actually give it to you when you ask for it, and that experience is priceless. And inside this rectangle of Columbia, which now includes our fabulous Manhattanville campus, just a few blocks up, and of course our world-class medical center, 40 blocks up, you will learn from faculty who are the best in their fields. This is the place that launched the study of genetics with fruit flies, where FM radio was created, where Rogers and Hammerstein honed their craft by working on The Varsity Show. Our professors include Nobel Prize winners, Pulitzer Prize winners, Tony Award winners. They have expertise in nearly every field you can imagine. We have faculty pioneering a new approach to pediatric brain cancer treatments with focused ultrasound. And we have those developing robots that grow by consuming other robots. We also have poets and playwrights and artists with works that have dazzled audiences on Broadway and impressed viewers at the Venice Biennale. You are now in the middle of all of it. This unfettered creation of an exploration of knowledge is essential to an excellent education, of course. It's also foundational for our democracy. Universities at the moment are facing a period of challenge. There are those who would question the value of what we do. I don't. There is much debate about the right way to do what we do. Self-reflection is always something healthy for institutions like ours. I've found that moments of intense challenge have a way of clarifying our principles and also encouraging innovation and a focus on the future. That's what's on my mind as I come to work here every day. How will we build on our already formidable strength in AI, for example? What further opportunities can we offer undergraduates who are increasingly interested in international affairs or environmental studies? How do we think about conflict resolution and our role in a polarized society? As research budgets are challenged, how do we think about collaboration with other institutions? The power of Columbia is formidable, and it requires constant re-examination. What should you expect at Columbia? You should expect to be inspired. You will encounter remarkable brilliance and novel ideas daily. You should also expect to be challenged by your professors, your courses, and your peers academically. Please know that everyone will feel at some point or another overwhelmed or uncertain, as we heard. We are here for all of you. You should expect to act and be treated as a member of a community that is grounded in empathy, respect, and tolerance for diverging views. That's essential. And you should expect to have your assumptions questioned, to encounter points of view or ways of thinking you might not have considered or with which you disagree. That, too, is an essential part of a university experience, to leave here with an expanded mind and view of the world. And look around at all of your fellow students. You will also leave here with incredible new relationships, personal, professional, and intellectual. And by the way, you will leave having had a lot of fun. That is one of the questions I get most often about Columbia. Can Columbia be fun? Absolutely. Sometimes maybe a little too much fun, you will see. I hope you felt some of, Kidding. I hope you felt some of that already, thanks to these incredible orientation leaders. Thanks to some of the people you may have met moving in, you are about to have an incredible week. And that's the doubled magic I love about this place, intellectual growth plus the powerful connections you will forge. You are now officially part of a community that has existed for nearly 3 centuries and will exist for generations to come. What you get out of it will depend on what you put into it, and looking out at all of you today fills me with such incredible hope for the future. I can't wait to see what you make of it. Thank you and welcome.
Good evening, class of 2029. My name's Reed Ellison, class of 2008 in engineering, and I have the honor of serving as the president of the Columbia Engineering Alumni Association. On behalf of more than 50,000 living alumni of Columbia Engineering, it's my great pleasure to welcome you to Morningside Heights and to the Columbia community. Today marks the beginning of an incredible chapter. You're now part of one of the most dynamic academic communities in the world, in the heart of New York City, where innovation, creativity, and impact thrive. Columbia will challenge you, support you, and shape you in powerful ways. You're surrounded by world-renowned faculty, a city full of opportunity, and classmates who are among the best and brightest anywhere. As you begin your journey, I encourage you all to explore all that Columbia offers inside and outside the classroom. Join clubs, attend events, ask for help when you need it, and most importantly, have fun. This is your time to grow, build friendships, and lay the foundation for your future. And while your time as a student may not feel like it'll fly by, your connection to Columbia doesn't end at graduation. College is not for college days alone. The Columbia Engineering Alumni Association is here with you now and for life. We host events with alumni and industry leaders, offer mentorship opportunities, and more to help you learn from those who became before you. So take the most of your time here. Be curious and be bold. And don't forget to look up and take in the amazing city from time to time, whether it's walking through Riverside Park or trying a new restaurant spot downtown. Once again, congratulations and welcome to Columbia Engineering. Now I have the distinct honor of introducing Dean Shih-Fu Chang, Dean of Columbia Engineering. At Columbia Engineering, Dean Chang has greatly contributed to the growth and advancement of the school, propelling it to be one of the top engineering programs in the nation. He plays a key role in the creation of the school's guiding vision, Columbia Engineering for Humanity. Dean Chang is a Morris and Alma Shapiro professor with appointments in the departments of electrical engineering and computer science. As one of the most influential experts in multimedia, computer vision, and AI, his research has led to the spin-off of companies and licensed technology in multimedia search. The image search tools developed by his group have been used by more than 200 law enforcement agencies in fighting online human trafficking crimes. He has launched AI tools for the online disinformation detection and attribution. Dean Chang is also a member of the National Academy of Engineering, a fellow of the National Academy of Inventors, the American Association for the Advancement of Computer Science, the Association for Computer Machinery, and the IEEE, and is elected member of Academia Sinica. He received an honorary doctorate from the University of Amsterdam and the Great Teaching Award from the Society of Columbia Graduates. He is the inaugural director of the Columbia Center for AI Technology in collaboration with Amazon. Welcome, Dean Chang.
Thank you so much. Hello and welcome. Welcome to Columbia University. And welcome class of 2029. And thank you, Reed, for the wonderful introduction and support for Alumni Association. It's really the best day, wonderful day to start the semester. It's wonderful to see all of you here today. And it's my great honor to serve as the Dean of Columbia Engineering School and to welcome all of you here today. To parents and to friends, thank you for trusting us in sending your children and your students by sending them to Columbia to join our community. So let's give them a round of applause for thank you for all your support. More than 160 years ago, our school was established as the Columbia School of Mines. It was the first mining and metallurgy school in the country. If you go a few yards or 100 yards north on the campus, you see the mud building, and you can see a statue to celebrate the metallurgist. Our school has grown and expanded significantly since then. And we have many students from Columbia College, from Barnard, from General Study, taking courses in the engineering school with our wonderful faculty and staff. We have always been, and we continue to be, a school with a purpose, to make a positive impact on society. You are joining one of the most vibrant, talented, and enthusiastic communities in the world. There's no other place like Columbia. And I take a long time to tell you all the amazing contribution Columbia engineers has made over the past century and several decades. We helped build the modern city, including the first subway line in the New York City. Do you know which line that is? It's the #1 line. I'm sure you will use it, no matter you like it or not. You will use it many times over the next several years. Claire President Shipman mentioned FM radio. You have used for listening to hi-fi music, started here on this campus in the Philosophy Hall. It was created by Edwin Armstrong, an alum and a faculty member in School of Engineering. Columbia Engineer created automatic tabulating machine that led to one of the best-known companies in the world called IBM today. Research from Columbia Engineering has led to the technology behind digital video streaming when you watch movie on Netflix. That's the technology invented at Columbia. And smartphone image sensors used by billions of people every day. When you are using your smartphone today to take a wonderful picture of today's Convocation event, you are using one of the Columbia Engineering invention. The spirit of research and discovery lives on today. The spirit of discovery takes Columbia faculty and students all over the world to every continent, including Antarctica, and even to outer space. Last year, we launched a new minor in aerospace engineering. Now we are working hard to include a new major and a new master degree in aerospace engineering. Stay tuned. We know many of you are interested in this area. The potential for exploration, discovery is infinite. And some of you have interests more closer to home. You are interested in learning from nature how to create new materials that can be used in medicine, construction, energy, or even fashion. Some of you are fascinated by the possibility ushered in by AI, artificial intelligence, or robotics. And many of you are interested in how technology can help develop a sustainable and secure planet. Whatever your interest is, you can find faculty members and other students who are pursuing similar questions along with you. At Columbia, we call this active pursuit of knowledge, engineering for humanity. The social impact remains at the center of this vision, guiding all of our effort, research, education, and innovation. Just as we helped industrialize a young nation back in the 19th century, today society needs the research, collaboration, and innovation that are at the heart of a university like Columbia. And this is one of the greatest benefits of studying at Columbia. Our engineering students benefit from the core curriculum and liberal arts and humanity, while our college students are able to study with leading thinkers and practitioners in engineering and science. Columbia Engineering helps prepare students to develop their foundations, to be leaders in their fields, and to be able to change and adapt when addressing the complex challenges and opportunities in the world. Our faculty collaborate across the disciplines to offer our students unique courses and programs. Our computer science engineering faculty led the advancement of the frontiers of AI. They work closely with faculty from arts and science and other fields to create cross-disciplinary courses like computing in context and AI in context. These courses expand our ideas and look at how the emerging technologies such as AI can be applied in the most creative and responsible ways. There's so much to be learned from these leaders and these interdisciplinary efforts. You also benefit from the dynamic design and entrepreneurship ecosystem that we have created at Columbia. From venture competition to CEO lecture series, to design challenges, to hackathons, we have programs throughout the whole year for all of you. You can learn the fundamental of invention and design thinking, skills that will help you no matter which career path you will choose. One of the best benefits, as Claire and many others have mentioned, at Columbia Education is the opportunity for you and each of us to live and learn in the most incredible city in the world, New York City. It is the home of many industries, the arts, media, fashion. The diversity of New York City is unmatched. And I know you will find you love this city and you'll find your place here. I encourage you to reach out to people, to make new friends, to join our many Columbia clubs and societies. Maybe you will join the Columbia Space Initiative. Maybe you will join our wonderful Women in Engineering. Maybe you will consider joining Engineers Without Borders. And Columbia Airplane Club, Columbia Robotics Club, and Formula One Car Racing Club. And many other exciting clubs. Maybe you and your friends will start a new club at Columbia. The experience of being here on Columbia campus with your peers cannot be replicated in any other place. Make the most of your time here. The friendship and connections that you make will last a lifetime. That's true for sure. Learn from each other, respect each other, and listen to each other. Remember our shared values and our shared vision of engineering for humanity. You are all starting on a new journey. It will take you beyond this campus to different places around the world. Wherever you go after this journey, you will be connected by this unique Columbia experience. This is an amazing community, and the possibilities here are just endless. Already, you have been supported by your wonderful orientation leaders from NSUP. A big, big thank you to our NSUP orientation leaders, and special thanks to our alumni who came to join us to celebrate all of your outstanding achievement and a special moment in this journey of our new students. Welcome, class of 2029. Welcome to Columbia. Now let me welcome my dear colleague, Amy Hungerford, EVP and Dean of Arts and Science.
Thank you, Dean Chang, and to all of you here this evening, welcome to Columbia. Chances are, going way back, curiosity is a good part of what brought you here. Since one of my tasks is to welcome you on behalf of our faculty, those remarkable teachers that you see down here and you'll meet next week, let me say, curiosity is what brought us here too. Curiosity has been the engine of the research university since its first inception in the 19th century. When you chose Columbia, you chose a college with a distinct relationship to research. While Columbia's core curriculum offers an unparalleled general education, you equally come to learn at the very edge of discovery. Curiosity to scientists, economists, and philosophers is actually a poorly understood facet of human experience. The word comes from the same root as cure, which means to care, to heal, or to attend to something. It's the desire to know without knowing in advance the benefit or the cost of what you might discover. Western culture sets curiosity into its foundational narratives. In the poem Paradise Lost, which is frequently on the literature humanities syllabus, the English poet John Milton throws shade on Eve's desire to taste the unknown fruit in Eden's garden. Feminist revisions celebrate that trespass as the very proof of Eve's humanity. Human beings spend significant time, energy, and resources to follow that feeling. Even babies and highly intelligent animals, think octopuses or your dog, will expend their energy to explore the environment for a payoff that is not obvious, sometimes at their peril. Now, parents, I'm sure this is exactly what has been worrying you as you drop your children off with us. Believe me, they will be fine. But let's be honest, high school can be kind of tough on curiosity. For you high-achieving students, it's hard not to keep your eye on the ball of results. And arriving at Columbia, of course, is a cherished result. But for the greater good of your education and possibly the world, it's time for a reset. Just as surely as curiosity drives discovery for babies, it drives discovery at the very edge of human knowledge. Not long ago, a professor in our biology department won a major grant to investigate afresh and possibly overturn the idea that the neural synapse is the foundation of neurology. The importance of the synapse is settled knowledge, if there ever was such a thing. At Columbia, then, curiosity extends to asking, what if this thing that we have believed for so long to be true is in fact what's keeping us from understanding something we are desperate to know? Because fundamental discoveries can take decades to reveal their consequences, curiosity fuels researchers in the here and now. and Columbia believes in what can come of that kind of seeking. It is no surprise that support for that revolutionary look at the synapse came from a national institute focused on understanding neurological disorders. A side note here, curiosity does have some immediate results for those who practice it. One of our great social psychologists named Claude Steele, who was once the provost of this university, has studied a kind of modern social stress that people feel when they fear they will be perceived not for themselves, but rather as an example of a stereotype. Steele discovered that approaching each other with an attitude of curiosity relieves that kind of anxiety, especially when people are talking about hard topics in diverse groups. This is something to keep in mind if you find yourself feeling that stress. Whether or not you want to learn how to do research or you just want to connect with your peers, let your curiosity loose. The Columbia faculty will be there alongside you, cheering you on. No need to perform how smart you are. We know that. Even a child can do it. Just wonder what's beyond what you know. Start asking and start seeking. Families, thank you for trusting us with these wonderful young people and prepare to see them grow. First year's class of 2029, I wish you a wondrous start at Columbia, and I can't wait to meet you in class.
Good evening. I'm Raymond Yu, president of the Columbia College Alumni Association. Welcome, Columbia College class of 2029. Esteemed faculty, dedicated administrators, proud parents, and fellow alumni. I'm a member of the Columbia College class of 1989, Columbia Engineering 1990, and currently serve as the president of CCAA. It is a profound honor to stand before you today, exactly 40 years after I took my first steps on College Walk as an incoming student. Filled with the same mix of excitement, anticipation, and hope that you feel right now. On behalf of the more than 55,000 Columbia College alumni around the world, I welcome you to this amazing community. Today, you officially join a remarkable institution where you will learn, explore, and grow. And we couldn't be prouder to have you among us. I want to share, I was anxious coming in. I wasn't sure if I'd fit in, if I could keep up, or if I even belonged here, and I imagine some of you might be feeling that way too. That's okay, because we all have uncertainties, and it's also a sign that what you are about to do here truly matters. I know this not only from my own experience, but also as a parent with my wife Amy of 3 Columbia College graduates. Our oldest started in 2017, and our youngest just graduated in May. I've sat where your parents sit now, filled with pride but also quiet worry. Will my child be happy here? Will they flourish? What I discovered is that Columbia doesn't just educate, it embraces, it challenges, and it shapes both students and families. Seeing our children thrive here deepened my gratitude for an institution I thought I already knew. Because Columbia isn't just a place to learn, it's a place to become. This year is especially significant. You are joining a legacy that spans 200 years of the Columbia College Alumni Association, 2 centuries of individuals who dared to dream, who committed themselves to excellence, and who understood that education is a responsibility to serve something greater than oneself. The alumni community is here for you. We don't just cheer you on from afar, we walk beside you. Through the Odyssey Mentoring Program, students can connect with alumni across industries and generations. And through alumni-hosted dinners, you'll discover that a Columbia education extends far beyond the classroom. It lives in conversations, mentorship, and friendships that continue long after graduation. As you embark on this path, remember that the greatest measure of success is not what you accumulate, but how you use your gifts to uplift others. The friendships you build here, the mentors who guide you, and the values you cultivate will be your foundation in times of both triumph and trial. It is the strength of the Columbia community, the shared commitment to purpose and integrity that will define and shape you as thoughtful and respectful individuals. Before I close, I want to recognize the parents, families, and loved ones whose support has brought you to this day. Parents, this is the part you've secretly dreaded and looked forward to. You've spent 18 years preparing them for this moment, and you're either feeling sadness at the transition or you can't wait to get home and pack for your dream vacation. Your sacrifices and love have been the bedrock upon which these young people will build their futures. Thank you for entrusting Columbia with their dreams. Class of 2029, your time is now. Enjoy NSOP and the start of your Columbia journey. Thank you. And now it is my privilege to introduce a leader and friend whose steadfast guidance and deep commitment to our students continue to meaningfully shape Columbia College. Please join me in welcoming Josef Sorett, Dean of Columbia College and Vice President for Undergraduate Education.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Raymond, for that introduction. Love you too. Thank you to all the faculty, leaders from across the university, dedicated staff, and alumni with us here tonight. I'd also like to offer a small measure of gratitude and appreciation to our NSOP orientation leaders. By now, you've heard of them. Thank you, Shanesha, for your leadership and for your words this evening. And thank you, NSOP. Your commitment to showing our newest community members what it means to be a Columbian is, as always, extraordinary, as is your stamina. Of all the questions we'll ask, we'll wonder how you kept this up for the last 48 hours. Thank you. Students, parents, family, and friends, welcome on behalf of Columbia College. This is indeed a remarkable moment in all of your lives, a day of new beginnings. To the class of 2029, this evening is the culmination of so much hard work. For many, it is a dream realized. It is also an opportunity for you, for all of us really, to pause, to take stock and reflect. You've carried so much here. Your accomplishments, to be sure, but also your passions and your humor, your frustrations and your hopes, and most critically, the intellectual curiosity that drove you to pursue this education, your questions. All of it, the fullness of who you are, is now being woven into the fabric of this place, alongside the alumni, the faculty, and staff here tonight. whatever path brought you here, whatever place you came from, this campus is now your place, your home. Each of you is integral. No, you are essential to the Columbia that is still in the making. As you step into the life of this school and this community, you will encounter far more opportunities for academic exploration and social connection than you could possibly pursue. But none is more central or speak to the fundamental nature of Columbia College mission more directly than the core curriculum and the ambitions that it harbors. In these classrooms, you'll be asked to wrestle with questions that often have no simple or final answer, and to engage with people whose perspectives may be vastly different from your own. Questions about justice and freedom, beauty and belonging, truth and power. Questions that stretch across cultures, time, and geography, and ones which must be considered anew in every generation. Questions that, if we do our work right, become better and more clear in the asking, and each of us better at asking the right questions. If not final answers, in time you will develop expertise and deep stores of knowledge in your chosen majors and minors, across the arts and sciences and beyond. But these pursuits will only be deepened and enriched by the habits of mind cultivated in the core. Perhaps most importantly, the core is something you cannot and will not undertake alone. It will demand patience and grace, and its promise lies in the fact that you will read, think, and search together. Sometimes you will disagree passionately with the ideas you encounter. Sometimes you will disagree with your peers and your professors, and you absolutely should. Because the real work of the core lies in returning to the table again and again and again, with respect, with curiosity, and with persistence. Learning to live and to think and question in community is, of course, not limited to what happens in the seminar, the lecture, or the lab. Our mission is to equip you with the tools for both meaningful personal achievement as well as a life of impactful civic engagement. We believe academic excellence and social and emotional well-being go hand in hand, and that each of you and all of us should understand ourselves as stewards of the collective, that we cultivate the skills and practices necessary to sustain the hard work summed up by the word community. Put another way, it's about cultivating the capacity to hold your independence in tension with our interdependence, to see that the I is always shaped in relationship to the we, and that the terms, dare I say the context, in which the I meets that we are not always even, equal, or ideal. Community is not a fact or a given. In fact, the term can risk ringing hollow, and it is nothing without the hard work we put in every day. Indeed, this is the challenge of pursuing common purpose with people whose experiences and perspectives may be from worlds apart and can feel at odds with our own. To my mind, that is what the core aspires towards, a mode of learning together that aims to be as socially inclusive as it is intellectually expansive, a set of ideas and practices that binds every member of this community together, even when we don't feel so together. The faculty, alumni, staff represented here tonight are committed to walking with you and to supporting your well-being and aspirations every step of the way. The peers sitting with you tonight will be your companions, your collaborators, and sometimes they will challenge you on this journey. And the habits of mind you cultivate, the patience, the grace, and the openness to difference are precisely the tools you will need to meet the world's complexity and to change it, to change us for the better. So as you begin this new chapter, stay curious, stay patient, and recognize that your presence matters, not just for you, but for all of us and for this place. It's my great privilege as Dean to welcome each of you as we partner in the shared work of learning and living together. You've heard plenty of speeches, and before I take my seat very shortly, I would also like to offer a special and specific word of appreciation to our parents and family and friends with us here tonight. It's no small thing to trust the care and education of your children to others. The people on this stage in the front row, indeed scattered throughout this place tonight, along with hundreds of other faculty and staff across our schools and university, take our responsibility to care for your students with the utmost seriousness. As others have said, thank you for that trust and for your partnership in supporting the remarkable young people whom you have shaped and brought us here this evening to begin their college journeys. And so, class of 2029, with your orientation ahead of you, and 4 years of intellectual discovery to come, good luck, and let's go. So it's my pleasure, one last thing, to make one more introduction. And I'm so pleased to introduce Kamala Kayam, the Dean of Undergraduate Student Life, who's joining us on this podium for the first time. We're thrilled to have Dean Kayam join our community earlier this summer, and I hope you will all give her your warm NSOP and Columbia family, student, and friends welcome. Dean Kayam.
Thank you, Dean Sorett. It's a hard act to follow. My goodness, amazing. It is truly an honor to join all of you here tonight and to count myself as a member of this community of students, faculty, staff, and alumni. In the short time I've been here, I've been amazed by the dedication and enthusiasm among everyone who has put so much time and energy into welcoming all of you to campus. And a very special recognition to our energetic leaders of the new student orientation program, as you all know already, NSOP. Our new students are so fortunate to have them at their sides, and none of us could not ask for a better group of leaders to help this incoming class write their next page in their stories. You've heard a lot tonight about what this community represents. And by design, this ceremony has featured voices representing each of its main pillars: university leaders, faculty, alumni, students, and staff. As others have noted, you will not be alone on the journey ahead. It is truly a team effort. A number of guides will help you along the way, and I'd like to take a moment to introduce several of my colleagues with us tonight. These individuals, along with the offices and staff with whom they work, support students in making the most of their Columbia experience. Barclay Morrison, Senior Vice Dean of Academic Programs for Columbia Engineering. Jenny Mack, Senior Associate Dean of Student Affairs for Columbia Engineering. Jonathan Kahn, Senior Associate Dean of Community and Culture for Columbia College. Andrew Plah, Dean of Advising, who heads the Barrick Center for Student Advising. Shannon Marquez, Dean of Undergraduate Global Engagement. Kavita Sharma, Dean of Career Education. Last and most certainly not least, Stephanie King, Associate Dean of Student and Family Support. I encourage you to reach out and take advantage of the services and people who are here to support you along the way, both inside and outside of the classroom. As a residential academic community, your experience is shaped not just by what happens in the academic setting, but also by the ways we live and explore alongside one another, which is my primary focus as your Dean of Undergraduate Student Life. Students bring curiosity, energy, and new perspectives. Faculty guide their academic exploration. Staff sustain the environments that make learning and growth possible. And alumni extend Columbia's lessons into the wider world. Our collective common purpose is to shape an undergraduate experience where every student feels welcomed, supported in their intellectual and emotional development, and challenged to engage with hard and compelling questions. As Dean Sorett reminded us, this is most certainly not easy work. Particularly in this moment, we can and must work together and aspire together. None of us up on this stage or in this audience is perfect, and we will continue to have our differences. But that doesn't mean we can't share common ideals, and each in our own way contribute to a community that we're proud to be a part of. As new members of this community, you and I take up and join the shared responsibility of creating and nurturing the conditions in which scholarship and community can flourish. It is an enduring commitment we make to and with one another, and with every member of this community. These commitments embody Columbia's aspiration for our shared life as faculty, university leadership, staff, and students. The intellectual mission of the university depends on community itself. Without care and respect, the exchanges, disagreements, and discoveries that sustain academic life could not flourish. As a first step on this path together, and in recognition of the aspiration it represents, I invite members of the class of 2029 and their families to join me in reciting the community commitment, which can be found on the back of your programs. And I also invite all of the Columbians present to recite these words, joining with us in recommitting themselves to this community. Please recite with me, along with me. I acknowledge that I am joining a Columbia community with a rich diversity of experiences, ideas, and perspectives, including my own. I commit to engaging respectfully and meaningfully with the challenges, opportunities, and questions that arise when people from every walk of life across the nation and all around the world are invited to live and learn together. Each of us, now each of you and me, plays a role in sustaining this learning community. Thank you for joining me in committing yourselves to this shared effort. Tonight represents the beginning of your next page, but the start of a new academic year also represents the next page for Columbia as well. The new life, ideas, and perspectives you will breathe into this community are a chance for all of us to recommit our shared aspirations. I cannot wait to make memories with you, truly I can't. Embracing the New York winters by building snowmen on the South Lawn, enjoying the sounds of our annual spring concert, Bacchanal. I can't wait for that. Or having a bite with you at Surf and Turf at the dining halls, right? our dining folks. I really look forward to seeing the things you do, build, and discover over the next 4 years. Thank you. And now, before we close the program, I'd like to give another final thank you to our NSOP leaders. Thank you all. And can't stop, won't stop, NSOP. Can't stop, won't stop, NSOP. I've learned that. Awesome. And to recognize the college and engineering staff alongside others throughout the university, including dining, facilities, housing, and public safety, who made today possible. Thank you all. Of course, thank you to our amazing students and all of our parents, family, and friends with us tonight for this truly special occasion. And one final reminder. I have some logistics to go through, so some reminders. Students, you're due to meet your orientation group directly after this ceremony. This part always gets me a little emotional. So following the performance, we ask that parents, families, and loved ones, this is it, all take a few moments to say goodbye for now as students depart officially and begin their NSOP experience. Now, to close our program, I would like to invite the King's Men to lead us in singing our fight song, Roar, Lion, Roar. You'll find the words on the back of your program. Congratulations again to the class of 2029.
Teams of old wore the blue and white. Deeds of fame made their name here at Old Columbia. Nowadays we can praise fighting teams again. Hear the lion roar his pride while the men of Morningside follow the blue and white to victory. Roar, lion, roar, and wake the echoes of the Hudson Valley. Fight on to victory evermore, while the sons of Knickerbocker rally round Columbia. Hey, Columbia, shouting her name forever. Roar, lion, roar, for alma mater on the Hudson shore. One more time! Roar, lion, roar, and wake the echoes of the Hudson Valley. Fight on to victory evermore, while the sons of Knickerbocker rally round Columbia. Columbia, shouting her name forever. Roar, lion, roar, for alma mater on the Hudson shore. Roar, you lion,
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain in your seats until the stage party has recessed. Families, it is now time to say goodbye to your students. New Columbia students, after that time, please proceed to the South Lawn to meet your orientation groups. Thank you, and have a good night.